Hi, it's Amber back again to look at our third component of Adobe Spark. So we've gone over pages and we've gone over videos. The last remaining piece are posts or graphics. Now I'm going to take you back to the plus sign so that we can go over to create. But instead of going to graphic, I'm going to click on view all. This is an opposite way of the way I normally teach because I like to show you how to do things from scratch instead of learning how to use templates. But in all honesty, graphics or posts are really easier to start with a template. So I have you click on all because what I want you to see is at the very top there are divisions between graphics, web pages, or pages, and videos. These are templates that are available to you. So I'm going to click on graphics since that's the focus of today, but I did want to show you that if you do get brave and you want to try templates with pages or templates with videos, these are there as well. So I'm going to go to graphics or post and show you there's all sorts of things that you can create. Now you can click at the top and search from right now over 30,000 templates. But I want to show you these sections because this might be able to help you find something quickly. So we have Facebook and Twitter. A lot of those are ads or headers or quotes. Instagram stories, and notice they're sized for Instagram. We have items for print. We have items that look like advertisements. So I think that what you would first need to do is decide what you are going to have your students create or what you want to create. Are you creating a poster? Are you creating a flyer, an invitation, a business card? Are you having students create their own resumes? What are you having them create? So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick a template for this video to kind of show you the elements that come within a graphic, but there are so many different ones that you can choose from. Also, I want to show you at the top right, our plus sign is moved to this page, so you get that back in case you want to do it from that plus sign. So if you wanted to do a flyer, you can just go ahead and click from flyer. And that's what I'm going to do, but I do want you to see that there are lots of different ones, and just these ones on this page are not all of them. Like I said, there's 30,000 different ones. But I'm going to go ahead and do a flyer because that's an easy way for me to show you all the different elements and components that are in a graphic. So once I have this open, now that I've chosen the type of template, now I can see all the different kinds of templates there are just for flyer. So what you'll see on the right are lots of different choices that I have for making a flyer, and again, these are ones that I'm going to be able to customize for my own use. Also, you'll notice over to the right, I have the ability to add text, photos, icons, and logos. So I could go ahead and just design my own from here. Then I have templates, which is what is showing now, are all the different templates that are available for the search term flyer. You'll also see that there's some design elements, so it gives me some variations so that I can make it a little bit different. Also, there are colors. These are different color families and color stories that you can use in your design. You can choose a particular type of layout. Again, since I'm in flyer, these are the options that are available for flyer, and you see there are even grids. So I could pick a grid and do text in some of the boxes and pictures in some of the other boxes, so I can then pick my layout. And resize is where you can decide what size of end product you're going to have. If you were to print it out, what kind of paper do you want to print it out, or is this something that's going to go on YouTube or Facebook? All these different things. Do you want it to be built for iPhone? Do you want it to be widescreen because it's going to be a presentation? So you'll see all these different types of layouts. So I'm going to go back to templates and just show you how we can take a template and modify it. I will show you that you have this little gold icon, and if you see the little gold icon, that means it's a premium template, and so that's something that you may not have access to if it's premium. You'll probably want to look for ones that don't have that on there so that you'll be able to use it. So let's say that I'm having students create a flyer for an upcoming event that we're having in our school. So what you're looking for here is something that I could customize and make my own. Now, because I'm going to be doing an announcement sort of flyer, I want to make sure it does have some visual graphics in it, but I also want to make sure it has enough text. So something like this, it's got a really large image and then it's got just a little bit of text. So that may be something that's not what I'm looking for, but maybe there are some things that would be kind of cool. So you're just going to kind of scroll through, find the one that you like. This looks like it has a lot of different places for different types of text. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. And you'll notice that it allows you to look through them this way as well. So if you don't want to just see them here, you can scroll through them that way. And if you like it, once you've seen it a little larger, you can click Create. Now what it does is it creates an editable copy for you. You're not actually editing the template. So what it's doing is going in and pulling all the items in. So once you've done your template, now we can do some customizing of that template. The first thing I would recommend before you start adding any images or anything else is make sure you're okay with the colors, because as you add more things in, you want your colors to be specific. So if this were up for your school, you might want to look and see if there's a color story that matches the palette of your school, and if there's not, you can make your own. You can certainly customize and change the colors. So if I wanted this instead of a pink one, if I wanted to have a different kind of color instead of pink, I can grab it from here. Maybe I want it to be more purple, and these blues I want to change to another shade of purple. You know, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, you notice how it's sort of changing. So you can change your colors however you want. You notice it changed the text and that sort of thing. So maybe I don't like this graphic image. So when you click here, you will get some ability to change the opacity or bring it forward or send it back or flip it. But if you don't want it, you can click Replace. Now what it's going to do is, since that was an icon, it's going to search icons for me. Now since this was a flyer about delivery, it's going to look for some other delivery icons. But I'm going to say that this is for an event at my school. And it's an event that's talking about safety. So I'm going to look and see if there's a safety icon. So once I look for safety, here are some different items. So we're going to talk about, this is about internet safety. So I'm going to see if there's something here that reminds me of internet safety. So I'm going to use this lock because I think it looks more like internet safety. So you see how that was easy to change that logo, or that, excuse me, that icon. Now if I wanted something instead of an icon, I can go up to that ad and notice there are photos. This is very similar to how it was in the other two features of Adobe Spark, where I can go and look in Unsplash. So if I wanted to put in safety and find some photographs for that, there are some other photographs that I could just simply click on, and you could either put it in the background or move it around. So I'm going to say I want to move this freely, and so then this becomes one that I want to move around. If I don't want it anymore, I click delete. So that's how the add button works in terms of adding other elements. So let's take a look at this now. So symbol text, you're just going to click in it and change it, and it will pop up in this open format here, this very white format, and then when I click done, it will pop back down into the bottom. So I'm going to call this discussion on internet safety, and then I'm going to click done. And maybe I want it to be discussion on and make this one internet safety. So let's see. Make this one internet safety. And then I'll click done. So now I've got discussion on internet safety. Now down here, I'm going to put more information. So what do I need to know about this discussion on internet safety? And here I could go in and put all the things that I want. Now notice that it says return to add a new line and shift return to confirm. So if I wanted to enter new lines, I would just use the return key. So I'm going to put the date. So once I enter everything, if there are some things that I want to change about this, for example, if I wanted it to be wider, I can, widen it. I can increase the size if I want it to be a little bit bigger. And notice as I move it around, I do get that blue line to help me align it in a different way. And I'm going to actually move some of these things up so that they are a little better here. So I'll move my line up, move our question up, and move this up. So now I've got the time, where it's going to be, and where they want to email questions to. So basically you're working on your design, changing text, inserting images, that sort of thing, changing your color. Notice here on my layout, I already have a layout, but if I wanted to change it, it gives me places where I could do that as well. So once you've played with all these different things, one of the things you're going to want to do is go up and save it with an appropriate name, because it's going to have taken the name of the template. Remember, it was a contactless delivery template. So I can just call it Internet Safety Flyer. And just like on our other tools, I do have the ability to click upon the person and add a collaborator. Again, I can only have one collaborator in here at a time working on it, but I can add some people to help me design this. When you're finished with your design, you can share it one of two ways. You can download it as an image, and you can decide if it's a PNG or a JPEG image. I can also download it as a PDF, depending on where I want to place this document. You choose your option, then you click Start Download, and it would download to your device. There's also the option to share. So if I wanted to share this and publish it, it's going to then become a link. So if I copy this link to show you what this will look like, and I'll go and put it on another tab so you can see, if I send this link to someone, they are going to see the flyer come up like this, and it will just be kind of an image of the flyer with all the elements therein, and they can appreciate it or share it on social media as well. So it works very similarly to the other items in Adobe Spark. So lots of different ways to share it. As we've shown in the past, if I wanted to share this creation with my classroom, I can use the Google Classroom link, or if I'm a student and I created this for an assignment, I can also go to Classroom and submit that as an assignment. So lots and lots of different ways to use Spark Posts, and you'll notice it says post at the top, but I want you to think of posts as graphics. So if I go back to my home here, one of the things that we haven't really talked about is where to find all these things I've created. Well, here's my All About Reptiles video that I made, my Internet Safety Flyer, and here's my page that I made for All About Reptiles. And so you'll see your projects here. You'll also notice that you do have some templates that are just for education, and those are kind of suggested across the bottom, but you have lots of ways to get to those templates. There's also a library section, and in libraries it's going to show anything that you've added to your library. For example, if you've put your school logo in there, it will go into your library, or things that were shared with you. Also, you have folders for your projects, and so you can organize those into those folders and create folders and drag them into that if you wanted to share those as well. So just be thinking about all the different things you can create. Again, when I use posts, I can either search for templates, or I can just go to the plus sign, choose View All, and then get some ideas of graphics here. And then if I don't see ones that I like, I can always go up to the top, and if I wanted to do, for example, resume, then I'm going to get some ideas for resumes, and anything that doesn't have that gold little element on, I can click on it and edit it and remix it and make it my own. So lots of different ways to use this with students, and it gives them a way to be creative. But for those people who maybe need a little support while being creative, the templates are super helpful to make them be able to create something that's really cool and unique and different for them. So enjoy Adobe Spark Posts.